This is going to be a comparison video between the original Glock 43 on the left, released in 2015, and the updated version, the Glock 43X, released in 2019, on the right. Let's go over the specs for each. We will start with the Glock 43 first. It is 6.26 inches long. It has a 3.41 inch barrel. It is 1.06 inches wide, 4.25 inches tall or high. It weighs 16.2 ounces, just the pistol itself, 18 ounces as shown with the empty magazine, 20.6 ounces fully loaded. It has a 24 Newton trigger pull, and it was released in 2015. The Glock 43X on the right is 6.5 inches long. It has a 3.41 inch barrel. It is 1.10 inches wide. It is 5 inches tall. It weighs 16.4 ounces, just the pistol itself, 18.7 ounces with the empty magazine as shown, and 23 ounces fully loaded. It also has a 24 Newton trigger pull. This model was released in 2019. Now let's compare the two. Alright, I have each model broken down. This is the 43, these three, and this is the 43X, these three. I have to hold the 43X grip module up or else it'll just fall over. You can see the most glaring difference is the magazine. Obviously what people know is the 43X has a greater capacity, but the magazines are not interchangeable. You can see that this is thinner and this is wider. So that's kind of a bummer, because what was great with the other Glock models, the 17 will go in the 19 and the 26, and same with the 40 cal and the other ones. The larger magazines will fit in the smaller ones, but there's no interchangeability here. The interchangeability is in the slides though. They are exactly carbon copies of each other. Same barrel, same recoil spring, same internal parts. The cutting on the exterior of the slide is different, but the interior is the same, and what really matters, all the specifics to fit onto each grip module, they're interchangeable. So you could put your 43 slide on your 43X grip module and your 43X slide on your 43 grip module, no problem. But you would still have to use the same magazines with each. You can also see the 43X grip module is bigger than the 43, but you know that because the capacity is greater. So you see that it's just elongated longer, and then the grip length is longer and it's a little bit wider because the magazine is a little bit wider. So they scaled it up a little bit, but the parts, you see, same deal going on. As you can see, I have the 43 slide on the 43X grip module, and I have the 43X slide on the 43 grip module. You can see they're completely interchangeable, and I'll show that they are functionable so you can see it will work. The slides are identical. As you can see, the original Glock 43 only has slide serrations on the rear, whereas the updated model has front and rear slide serrations. The original Glock 43 model is only a 6+1 capacity, whereas the updated version is 10+1 capacity. The original version comes with two 6-round magazines, where one has an extended base plate. The Glock 43X comes with two 10-round magazines. Now the magazines between the two models are not interchangeable because the grip thickness is different. You can see when I take out the magazines and show, you will see one is thicker, one is thinner. So typically within the Glock product line, the magazines for the larger model will fit in the smaller models. So the 17 magazine will fit in the 19 and the 26. This, however, is not interchangeable. They have the ideal set of controls. They're completely identical. The trigger pull is exactly the same at 24 newtons. The magazines themselves are obviously different. It's not just the capacity. The size and weight, width is different. The slides, however, on both the models are completely interchangeable. They have the same internal parts and everything. You can actually take one slide and put it on the other one if you would like. And you can take the slide off and look and see, yes, same recoil system, same barrel, same everything. It's completely identical. The grip module and the magazines are different. So there is some advantages to having the 43X over the 43, most notably the size to capacity to weight ratio is greater for the 43X. And then the 43X also has the MOS model, so if you like the red dots, well, there you go. These are great entry-level EDC concealed carry choices. There are now more in the market that come with more features. These are extremely basic, but they're extremely reliable and dependable, and they're really effective for the concealed carry EDC market. They're also readily available, and they're cost-effective. The newer models come with more bells and whistles, like your P365s, your Hellcat Pros. You know, these come with night sights and are a little bit more feature-rich than these basic brick-shaped Glocks. But these are extremely reliable, dependable, cost-effective, and you can get 10 million different accessories for them. These are basic models that have night sights. Only difference between when you buy it fresh out of the box and when they sit here now on the counter. The only difference is the night sights. I actually got the 43 only a few weeks before the 43X was going to be released, and I bought the 43X immediately when it was released. I originally chose the 42 over the 43 because it was even smaller and lighter, and the 380 cartridge is recoil free, let's just put it that way. These are both highly accurate choices too. You can't really go wrong with either. Now the problem with the grip length here is it's harder to get a good grip on top of the bore axis, but there is base plates that you can get to extend to give you a little bit better grip. I do have some Vickers Tactical Plus 2, but this is the factory, so this is comparing the factory, how they come out of the factory. These both have True Glow night sights on too, so they're both the same night sights. What I like about the 43 as opposed to the 43X is the smaller size does lend a little bit better to greater concealability. It does fit in my man purse a little bit better with the pocket holster, the same pocket holster. This one is a little bit more concealed than this one, but the grip obviously on this one is more conducive to people with larger hand sizes. Now I have small hands, I wear size small gloves, and I can use either accurately. I think that the barrel length is right in the sweet spot for me at 3.4 inches. I think that this is a good length, and because of the amount of metal that's going to be required, that weight to capacity to size ratio I think is like the sweet spot for me. Others in the same ratio, P365 XL, Hellcat Pro, those are kind of similar, same size, weight, maybe not the capacity for this one, but I like that barrel length. Now, when you get into the smaller ones, like the 365, even though it has a greater capacity, well, it's kind of harder to control because it's smaller and lighter. It's really thin grip. So you got to take the pros and cons of what you like or what you dislike. I was used to the Glock platform. I like the controls are simple and slimline and basic. Not a lot for it to get snagged on. So it's perfect for how I like to carry my EDC or concealed carry in a pocket holster. I really like the fact that you can interchange the slides on these too. So that's a benefit, that if something were to say parts go wrong on one, well, you have a backup slide for it. It's kind of cool like that. It would be nice that if they had more interchangeability with like the grip modules like SIG is doing with their 365, so that you could buy one and then just get bigger frames so that you could just buy a bigger grip module and not have to buy a whole new firearm. But maybe that's something that they can do down the road. But Glock doesn't release much new products or do much innovation, but the 43X was pretty cool at the time. Now it's quite archaic, but they do have the 43X MOS, which is a little bit more feature rich. but still not as feature rich as, say, the SIG, I would say, or other higher end, higher cost. This is a good middle of the road cost. The dependability and the reliability, this is your basic model Honda Civic, Honda Accord. You know, this is your daily driver. That it's not the most creature comforts, it's not the coolest, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but when you need it to work, it's going to work, and it doesn't need a lot of maintenance. So that's what's great about the Glock brand, and that doesn't change even with these smaller versions. Sometimes you can see that other manufacturers have issues when they release new products. I can't recall much issues with these either, and mine have functioned flawlessly, no problems, always locks the slide to the rear on both of them, have no issues with extraction, ejecting, nothing, feeding. It'll eat any ammo no matter how cheap it is. So these are great choices. There's a lot of choices in this categories now in the market to choose from, but it's hard to go away from something that's dependable, reliable, cost-effective, and available. I know that I like what I'm comfortable with. That's why I like these also, because I started with Glock, so I'm used to the platform. But also I've learned that there are other comparable models and manufacturers out there that I think do offer more now than what Glock offers. So these are a bit archaic for what the market offers now, but these still are reliable choices. I think that this is one of my favorites to use personally because it's got a great feel to it, and I don't have large hands, but I'm able to manipulate the size on it and control the recoil and be extremely accurate with it at different distances. So this is just a comparison video between the 43 and 43X and some of the others in the EDC concealed carry market. These are some of the more basic options that you can choose from, but these are still extremely reliable, dependable, cost-effective, and available. So if you're looking for something in the EDC or concealed carry market, these are good, reliable choices. Check them out, the Glock 43 and the Glock 43X.